How's it going? It's just me this week. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you five if y'all checked out the last one. Oh man, great feedback on the Instagram video I put of I stole some clips from the podcast. Go check it out. It was amazing. Steve did wonderful. And hopefully he'll be back soon. Hopefully him and another buddy will be back. You know who you are. And then you know what I was thinking? After Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph, I'm going to talk about it. Because I'm going to talk outside of the fight. I'm going to talk about what bothers me. But before we do any of that, you know that DJ Khaled is going to get us started. DJ Khaled, run that shit. Do people still say run that shit? Or do you only say that when you rob people? I'm going up to 4 notches. You probably did not know what that means. Thank you, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled cut it off. Man, what is it about hitting your funny bone that is not funny? Dude, I wish that I would just bust out laughing every time I hit my funny bone like that. Man, I really cranked that elbow gear. What? So, Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. It's Christmas season, so I want to talk about Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, and Myles Garrett getting in a physical altercation on the field. You know, and people have been comparing it to like a bar fight, and I know what they're saying. Like, what if this happened in a bar? And I just imagine 2 grown men fighting in football, full pads at a bar, and one of them striking the other one. And there's nothing more insulting as a football player who was kicked by a kicker from Crittenden County. I will never forget that kicker who kicked me in the ribs. And let me tell you, it was not like getting hit. It's like getting hit by a boxer, actually. That's where I was trying to go. I really messed up the joke on that one. But a kicker kicked me once, so I understand the frustration. But let me tell you something. You cannot hit people with helmets and stuff. You can't do that. Which I understand why you would want to. Man. Oh. You know what the worst part? Okay, so y'all can talk about the fight and all that. It was bad. It's not supposed to happen. It's not WWE, okay? There's not supposed to be hitting people on the helmet or on the head with the helmet. My favorite part though, as soon as Mason Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer, got hit with his own helmet, which is the ultimate insult to injury. Because not only did you hit him with a helmet, with his own equipment. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers teammates are not making fun of him, I understand you got to take his back in the moment, but you have to make fun of him because you do not let another man take your helmet and strike. That is like in the 300, the movie. That's the equivalent to taking a guy's sword and stabbing him with it, with his own sword. And all his friends are like, well, it's a terrible way to go out. I would rather you hit me with your helmet. Do not hit me with my helmet. Do not steal my car and run me over with it. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what he did to Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And it's just sad. And the worst part of all this, Myles Garrett suspended indefinitely. Cannot play this year. Would not yet. And he's suspended for the playoffs. And they're acting like, playoffs? They're acting like they're going to make the playoffs? They're not going to make the playoffs. For sure not. And but the worst part is, the part that struck me is just odd, real odd, is that O.J. Simpson spoke about O.J. Simpson took up for Myles Garrett, which is okay for anybody in the world, but I'm sure Myles Garrett is at home like, I'm in a bad spot if O.J. Simpson is taking up for me. Let me tell you something. If O.J. Simpson is coming to your defense, you know you got problems. Like, could you imagine O.J. Simpson speaking for your behalf? I would like to have O.J. Simpson on here. You know, I'm going to put a sign on the door that says no knives allowed, or no knives allowed. No knives allowed. Man, what a human O.J. is. Hello, Twitter world. Go look up his Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I've heard about it. He just, hello, Twitter world. Twitter spare. That's stupid. Dude, could you imagine hanging out with OJ Simpson? Could you imagine? Dude, if I hung out with OJ Simpson, I would be like, hide the steak. We're not having steak. Let's go get a burger somewhere. Let's go get like some food that we can eat with our fingers, and that's it. No utensils, no knives, nothing that you could stab me potentially with if I anger you. Could you imagine? I wonder if since he's been out of prison, but okay, he did not go to prison for the murder. He went to prison for armed robbery, I believe. What are you doing? If OJ Simpson came to my work and was like, can you imagine if OJ Simpson showed up to my work to take up for me, if I was late one day and I was like, there's 12 lights I go to work, I hit 8 of them. I'm sorry, man. And really, I stopped and got some coffee, and I get to work late, and OJ's there in front of me talking to my boss. He's like, he's gonna be here, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's on. That's what OJ said about this whole altercation. And if you're watching this at home, if you're Myles Garrett, you have got to be saying, yeah, I'm in a situation if OJ is talking about me, man. What, after everything, maybe OJ can help you get away with it. I do not know. I'm not saying anything. Just when OJ, episode 55, when you come on, no knives. And that's just insane that happened. Also, another insane thing that happened this week, UK basketball. As my life progresses forward, as I get better, the UK sports get worse. And hey, that's a trade-off I'm willing to give, because the past decade I've been rooting hardcore for UK sports, and my life was just a downhill. No, or is it an uphill? Whichever one's not good. So I'm getting better. So something's got to. What is that? The law of whatever. Whatever. What comes up must go down. So UK's going down, I'm going up. So I'm just going to have to keep going up for a while, because I can't go back down. Do you know what I'm saying? So I hope that everyone out there is having a great week. I had some things I wanted to talk about. I almost ran into let me correct myself. An old blind woman almost ran into me. Let me tell you something. I have a soft spot in my heart for blind people. Anybody that's handicapped and, of that genre of, they can't help themselves. But hey, can we talk about something? Ma'am, if you're watching this. I had a blind woman almost walk into me, and she did look like the guy off of Home Alone, the shorter thief. I don't remember his name. The one, and she had a toboggan on. But she did not have her sunglasses on, because it was wild. And dude, when blind people look at you without their glasses, when they're looking without their glasses, it's very, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it, I'm just saying it was interesting I'm not around blind people all the time. I don't see them often, and this woman almost walked dead into me. Luckily, I had another encounter with a blind person in Atlanta. The one time I've ever been to Atlanta, no, I've been twice. One of the times I've been to Atlanta, where you have to go on the subway to get to, I think I talked about this in like episode 20, 19. I don't remember. I'm just throwing out that numbers, but I think I spoke about it. But I had a encounter with a blind guy once, and I was on a field trip, and I didn't know if you're in the city and you're going to be riding the subway, that it's common sense thinking about it, but when you're from the country, you just sit down anywhere you get and stay there safely. But in the city, the first seat, as soon as you get on a subway, is for blind people, or if a blind person comes on, they get that seat, which makes sense, right? But we didn't know. We were kids. And this blind guy got on the subway, just sit right down. Like he did what he was supposed to in the moment. We did not keep up to our end, and he sat in a girl's lap that was with us. It was like, and then at that moment, people from Atlanta was like, "Oh, you're supposed to get up for the blind." Like, okay, I mean, it makes sense, but we didn't know. I tell you what, I would not want to run around this world blind. That is something that terrifies me. When I go to bed at night, I keep my eyes open as long as possible, just so that I know I can see. It's kind of like it reminds me of, you ever go so long without talking during the day and you're just like, you just say hello, like you just say something off the wall just to make sure that you're still alive and breathing and have a voice, and you're just like hello. Oh yeah, we're good. Am I the only one that does that? It's just like, am I the only one that scopes out a situation? I know I'm not the only one who scopes out like, okay, if something happens here, I'm throwing them on my back. I got them. Or there's an exit door, or I might kick the gun out of his hand or the knife if it's O.J. Simpson. Hello, Twitter world. I can't get over O.J. Simpson, man. Oh man, I just, do that. Every time I see an infomercial about knives, I'm just like, I wonder if OJ's watching this. I wonder if OJ is just saying, hello, Twitter world. That's so nice. It's on. It's on at that moment. That's what OJ says. It's on at that moment. I want to keep my life as far away from OJ Simpson as I can. I mean, I would like the football skills. If I could have had anything from OJ Simpson, it was his athletic ability, but nothing else. Nothing else. I mean, do you think OJ ever thinks about it? Like, how do you sleep at night knowing you murdered somebody? And now he's talking about it. I can't believe that he talks about this stuff. Like, that just blows my mind. It's like, dude, if he ran for is he allowed to run for president? Or he did some time in prison. He did a while too. I don't even know. I just I need to get back on the ball. Dude, hey, how you doing? I bought a coffee maker today. I was gonna get one word I cannot say seriously is Keurig. I got the coffee maker, okay? Now look at me. I'm not rolling in money, okay? I'm not Walter White in money right now. I'm also not snorting coke. That's not a joke about when I said Walter White. I was talking about selling whatever. I'm not like the richest guy that I know or the poorest guy that I might be the poorest guy. Well, I saw a homeless guy today. But I went to Walmart. Okay, I've been talking to people about getting a coffee maker or a Keurig, because I just like the little cup things, the cake cups, I think they call them. Just throw it in there, get some coffee, good to go, right? Good to go. And so I got that, and I didn't get. There was like everything was above 60, and I saw this little one. My friend's mom told me about a knockoff Keurig, so it's not a Keurig. And I got that. I think it was $20, and I used it today. Oh, I also bought this new coffee mug. That it was obviously a mistake that I bought it, because it keeps your coffee hot for like 8 to 10 hours. And I was thinking, it took me 2 hours before I could drink it, because dude, it's just, yes, I had the little lip open so it could breathe, but dude, that thing was not cooling off. I'm like, some things in life work too well. Oh man, I had to put so I got the coffee machine, did all that, and I'm happy with it right now. Do they do trial runs or something? Because did a whole coffee situation, put a K-cup in there, did everything, and then it made a cup of hot water. It didn't have any coffee in it. I was like, is there a tester? Is that to test it to make sure it's working or something? So that kind of threw me off. I was like, did I buy a dumb? Or, I mean, it is a knockoff. I was like, well, I guess hot water is enough of a knockoff, what a knockoff should do, right? But dude, let me tell you something. WayFair, I wish they would go out of business. IKEA, wish you'd go out. Anybody that sends a dresser and it has it's like building, dude. WayFair and IKEA are Legos for adults, man. Hey, I'll waste about 7 more trees a year if you can put bigger font on your directions. How can I see you're like, you remember being in school and there's like, your paper has to be 2 pages, double spaced, a 12-point font, and then you can kind of get away, put like 12.5 font. Maybe sometimes you get away with 13. You might get away with it sometimes. And teacher would be like, let it slide. Or she'd be like, oh, this ass, redo it. And that's what I feel like IKEA is trying to save money in the paper department, because they're like, we're going to go down to an 8. and the pictures are small, and then you have to squint. I'm like, what is that? I need a magnifying glass to see the directions to build this 1,000-piece fireplace. Oh, when my buddy, Steve from last week, he helped me build or put together the fireplace. Build and put together are two different things. Just know that, kids. So we put together the fireplace, right? We get 7 steps in. We're doing everything right. All of a sudden, we find out we were trying to build this thing upside down. And I think that correlates to my life a little. I think I did my life the first 27 years. I did my life upside down. And so we had to go back. We had to go back to step 3 and fix it. Flip some things, unscrew some things. Put this over here, put that over there. Do this, do that, until we got to where we started. So you get here, then you're like, oh shit, I fucked up 7 steps ago. Got to go back, fix that, do all these again. We're here again. We're here where we thought we were. That's why you should do things right the first time in life. Because you're going to have to backtrack either way. That's why you do not forget your wallet on your coffee table or your fireplace that you just put together. Let me tell you something. I'm closing in on the first 30 years of my life. If life was golf, my front 30, is that how you, I know they call it the back 9. What do they call it? The front 9? The front 9, okay. My front 30 is coming to a close. I'm 2 holes away from closing in on my front 30. I think the back 30, hopefully I get 30 out of the back. Hopefully an alligator doesn't bite my leg off on the next 30. You know what I'm saying? But think about golf terms. There's alligators on the golf course, at hole 13, 14. Happy Gilmore, think about that. But I think that my the back 30 of my life is gonna be a little bit different. But is that how it's supposed to go? I'm hoping my friends start their own podcast / YouTube channel and do whatever. Because I think they'll be just as good, if not better, than me, and we can all work together. I think it'll be fun for all. I think that it is time for us to get better at life. I really do. I really do. Because, the best time to plant a tree is 25 years ago. The second best time is today. That's my favorite Maxwell quote. If you don't know who Maxwell is, I took a business class and we read a book from Maxwell. I don't even know his first name. But that quote always stuck with me. Just like the quote from my friend who will one day be on this podcast. He asked me if he could come on. I was like, sure you can. Because the first thing I'm going to say to this guy is, excuses are bricks to build a house of failure. And how is it that quote would stay with me for the rest of my life? I'm never going to forget it. I'm never going to. And I thought it was just a stupid, funny quote when he said it. But man, it just stayed with me. That's what I really enjoy about life is I think we also don't realize how much of an impact we have on people by our words and our actions. We do not yet fully understand. Well, my frontal lobe, that thing, the thing that makes you do stuff right. My brain is supposed to be fully functional at the right age of 27. Man, I think I talk too much like a DJ or a radio host, and so I'm trying to slow down, take my time, because I feel like, I don't know why I feel like I have to talk quick and keep it coming, keep it going, because that's not me when I'm not on here. I'm trying to talk. I also hate my voice, by the way. I hate my voice. But Mason Rudolph, red-nosed the reindeer. Did I say that wrong? Who even cares? But Mason Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer, make sure you ice that head of yours. And Myles Garrett, I do not want to see you hanging out with O.J. Simpson. And O.J. Simpson, no knives, please. No knives. I feel like a restaurant will find out O.J. Simpson's coming in. They'll be like, no, do not bring him a steak knife. Like, can you imagine the waiter or the waitress walking out, whichever one it is, don't want to put pronouns. I'll say they. The waiter, the waitress or waiter, walking out to take a O.J. Simpson his 16-ounce steak, and the manager sees a steak knife on there. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna grab that. It's just like, we didn't get any more. Tell them they're dirty. They're dirty. They're dirty. We don't have any more." And that's just a sad world that we live in. That O.J. Simpson is talking about stuff, important stuff. O.J. Simpson should be kicked. You're banning the wrong people from Twitter. Ban O.J. Simpson, okay? Hope he never sees this. Hope he never. He's gonna cut my cables. He's gonna cut all my electricity off to my platform of YouTube. And also, hey, you can listen to this on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Premium, Anchor app. I think that's about it. I'll get them all together and I'll get a list of them. So if you have an iPhone, go to iTunes or the podcast button. It's purple with those lines look like a satellite line. I'm not sure what it is. But if you have a Galaxy, Google Podcasts. Download Google Podcasts if you have a Galaxy phone or anything. If you don't want to listen to it, who really gives a fuck? Sorry for the language. But I'm gonna get out of here. That is the 20 that I'm gonna do this week. It was simple. It was easy. And I'll be back next week. I really don't know what's going on. I forgot my notes that I had some stuff that I'll talk about. But I'm going to start putting my ideas like day by day. Like I'm going to put Monday. This is what in my notes. And then Tuesday in my notes. And then so when I come back in here next week to do the next episode, I'll have it like in order of what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to make it simple for me next week. I'm going to make it simple. And DJ Khaled is going to get us out of here the right way. I won't get sued for doing that, will I? I hope not. I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck about me. 4 notches. Do not let the door hit you on the way out. Make sure you're up here looking at these. Yo, good night. Good night. It's getting dark in here.